is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween. Do, 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 do. So I'm so excited this spring when I saw that they were releasing A Nightmare Before Christmas stack. I was so excited. I was like, take my money, and pre-ordered it, then forgot about it until it arrived in the mail yesterday. And I was like, oh, past me sent me a present. That was awesome. So, because I was always like, take my money. And then I opened it, and we're gonna review this. I'm gonna call this review the good, the repetitive, and the so you could have been a contender. We could have had something here. I had such high hopes. Yeah, spoiler alert, like a minute in. We're gonna start with the good. We're gonna start with the good. There are some really great takes from scenes in the movie, and a few of these cards really make sense, and I think that the strongest parts are in the major arcana. I mean, you've got obvious ones that you're like, of course, the Lover's card. Look at this one. Like, of course you're gonna do Jack and Sally as the Lover's card. And then the Chariot. Look at this one. Of course, you know, great. Judgment. Santa's naughty or nice list. Like, yes, I am with you on this. This is great. Hanged Man, Santa hanging in Boogie's lair. Awesome. I'm with you. This is great. The World, where all the different holiday trees are. Yes, definitely. This makes sense. Hierophant is the mayor. Again, on point. I get it. Even, so the minor arcana suits are not the typical suits, which I'm going to get into in a little bit because I have opinions on that. It's candles, needles, presents, and I can't even remember what the other suit is. Oh, potions. So Queen of Needles, which is Queen of Swords. So yeah, this looks like she's ready to cut a bitch and be a little bitchy with her words. That I get that vibe comes through. I love this card, but it doesn't represent to me what Eight of Swords usually is. Eight of Needles, but the imagery makes sense for a card. Like, it's good imagery with Sally sewing herself back up. But again, we're gonna get back into how I feel about some of these cards in the next so the minor arcana, and even to some extent the major arcana, you can kind of tell that this, I feel like this deck wasn't put together by a tarot reader, because it seems like there's not a lot of symbolism there, where you can really read into it without having to read the book, where it's like, oh yeah, this is what this means, and you'd have to memorize what they were going for. And a lot of it, once you get into the minor arcana, it's like super repetitive, where it's just like, okay, the potions here's just like 9 of potions, 9 potion bottles. Okay, 2 of potions, 2 potion bottles, just sitting there. Awesome. 7 of presents, 7 presents. Like, 6 of candles, 6 candles on a candelabra. 3 of candles, 3 candles on a candelabra. Different kind of candelabra, still a candelabra. 9 of candles, Not out of candelabra, but candles. How am I... Nine of presents. Bunch of presents again. Like, I don't know if you've seen this one, but a bunch of fucking candles. How? Oh, more candles on a candelabra. Just, to me, it feels lazy. And I hate to accuse people of laziness because I'm sure they worked hard in their own way. And the art is beautiful, but it's not about the art. It's about them not understanding tarot. And I think that it was artists put in place to just be like, oh, it's a suit. I'm just going to put the number of things that are on the suit and not understand. And this is because I come from reading from symbolism, of understanding Rider-Waite symbolism, and also reading intuitively. So I like to have cards that have symbolism that I can maybe like look at and I'm like, okay, I get where you're coming from because I read intuitively. And when it's just a bunch of candles, it's like, I don't know what you're getting at for me. And I don't want to have to go into the book and have to like memorize what this book says that their version of needles or potions or whatever or candles says. And then on top of it, they're changing the names of suits, which I kind of have a problem with all these decks changing names of suits from, you know, pentacles and swords. And I get it. They're trying to be cutesy, fine. But like, it took a little while. Like, some of these are intrinsic, like, you can get it. Like, okay, I get what you're transferring over to. But the energy didn't even come through right away where I'm like, oh yeah, like, I gotcha. Like, the presence did because it's, like, tangible. It's, like, earthly things. Like, I gotcha. But it, like, it still didn't transfer when I'm feeling it. It's like... like, I wanted to. Yeah. I see that this could be difficult. I thought that this would be a deck for beginners to more easily learn from, because especially if you're familiar with the movie, that you could be like, oh yeah, the scene, I reminisce with the scene, I connect with it, and so therefore I can connect with this card easier. But for some of these cards, it works. Not for all of them, like, because I don't think that this was made with people that really understand tarot. And there's a couple examples I have in this category, and these are just some, like, where I'm like nitpicking, where like justice, like, so because he's at a podium and you think that looks like a lawyer or a judge, this is justice. Like, are you just picking things because it looks like a previous justice card that you've seen before? That's not really justice. Again, the moon. Because he's standing in front of a moon, that's the moon. But that's not what the moon really kind of represents. This would have been better to me for the Fool, where he's walking through the woods. Yeah, he's got his dog there, he's got 0. But wouldn't that have been better for the Fool, where he's kind of walking off like the cliff and not really looking at where he's going? It's those kinds of things where when you know the symbolism, you know why this is what it is. Like the tower. The tower is just standing there. It's the tower. But the tower is supposed to be crumbling down. Like, it's a reset. There's no reset here. It's just a standing tower. So because you've seen towers before in tarot cards, you're going to put the tower that you see in the movie. Okay, but like, there's nothing falling from it. There's no extra symbolism to complete that. And it's the same with Temperance. Like, there's nothing, yeah, two things are pouring back and forth, but there's nothing to indicate that you're, I mean, I guess that by creating the potion you're making an equilibrium, but I don't know. Like, yeah, the star, the moon, the sun sequence just like are just, I feel like they picked cards that looked like other tarot cards. They picked scenes from the movie that looked like other tarot cards that they've seen, and oh yeah, this totally fits, without understanding, because they don't understand tarot, why things are the way that they are. And again, if you're just learning tarot, it goes back to like these other sets that people get before, where it's back to rote memorization, and it's very hard to learn from that way. The way the concept was executed, it's a great concept. Like, this is a familiar thing, people are familiar with it, theoretically you can learn really easily from it, but because of how the concept was executed poorly, it's really disappointing. For me, this is just me as a reader and I like to be able to look at things and understand and see the symbolism, and in some things I can't see the symbolism, and in others I'm just like, I feel like it just picks a pretty picture and it's just not there, and it's disappointing. If you're a tarot collector, if you're a collector for Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, this is great, and they're pretty art to look at. It's great art. I wish that I could use this more for readings. That's all I'm gonna say. I like to be able to practically use my cards, and I really don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that with this deck, and it's really disappointing. And I would like to hear from anybody. If you've gotten this deck, if you're planning on using it for readings, I'd love to see, and I hope that other people figure it out, because I'd really love to be able to hear from you. And yeah, it's just my opinion. I wish I had such high hopes. I was so excited. I was texting my friends being like, look what came in the mail. I forgot about it. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And then I was so let down. But, you know, these things happen. And then there's times that we're pleasantly surprised. And then there's times that there's a reason why I usually wait for reviews and then I buy things, instead of hitting that pre-order button like, so maybe I won't be the first to review things all the time. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I will. I'm a little harsh on things. So I'm a little choosy when I'm making. So hopefully this helped you. Yeah, I know I'm a little rough on it, but yay. We're getting into Halloween season, so if you could smash that like button, comment, rate, subscribe, that would really help. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.